Hi, this is over here. This is day one of the Crucible League for PoE. And this is the league starter that I was going to start. No surprises. This is exactly what I was going for. And there have been a bit of surprises here and there and a bit of changes regarding this build. I'll briefly run through them and talk about issues of scaling, how to deal with it, and generally how to go about making this work. Wait, does he really want this? Oh, okay, yeah, sure. If you want this, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna trade this guy, and then I'll briefly talk about like how I managed to scale damage. I haven't actually hit maps yet, but I don't think I'll have any problems getting the maps. If anything, it will take another hour or two of play. I am pretty casual about this. I'm not pushing super hard. I did a bit of heist in between because I was kind of bored of doing eggs. I did a bit of heist, got a bit of currency. So I'm currently planning to make a few purchases before I hit maps, and generally trying to scale damage pretty decently before I hit maps. So right now you can see I have about 27 chaos. My primary goal is to get a heat shiver at this point. And so the surprise that for this league was that I think there was maybe a heat shiver rarity nerf. I'm not too sure, but at the same time, I do think there's a bit of market manipulation because from what I understand, there's actually quite a lot of heat shivers on the market, but for some reason they're all 30 chaos. So I'm assuming that there is someone controlling the heat shiver supply on the market, and that's the reason why heat shivers are so expensive. And with that being said, I'm not too sure if I really want to pay 30 chaos for it. I am pretty okay with the damage now. You can see this is pretty fast. Mobility is cool. Mapping is pretty. I mean, movement is pretty sweet, and bosses are okay because when you preload bosses on 20 mines, they just melt, right? So even if we don't have a heat shiver, which nearly doubles our damage, damage looks pretty good. I'll briefly go and talk about how you scale damage if you don't have a heat shiver, and where the difficult parts are for this build. So generally, this build is just going to do the same thing as a normal heat shiver build. You're going to scale cold flat damage, and then you're going to hopefully have heat shiver to convert that. So the first two items you need to get are Thessalio's Sign. This is very, very, very cheap. You can get both rings for about 1 elk each, so 2 elks total, maybe about 1 chaos total for both. You should not be paying more than half a chaos for each ring. So with these 2 rings, you're gonna get a crap ton of flat damage against chilled enemies. This applies to your Icicle mines. So this will carry you from level 20 onwards to about level 50, where you see level 40, 50, where you start to see your damage taper down a bit. How do you then solve the damage problem? The answer is to get March of the Legion. It will definitely take some time for March of the Legion to come online because it is level 58, unfortunately. You also want to be able to get one that has +5 to Socketed Aura Gems. This guy is wasting my time. Anyway, you want something with generally about good amount of movement speed, good amount of resistances. I got this for like 3 elks. You could probably get yours for 1 chaos, I think. 1 chaos, I think, is a pretty fair price. Next, what you want to do is you want to 4-socket, 4-link this. It will cost you relatively cheap. You should be picking enough jewelers, enough armorers, and enough chromatics to be able to get this. What you do is you link it, and afterwards you go to bench and do 1 green, 1 blue, which is 15 chromatics. And on average, you'll get something like this. Ideally, you want 2 greens, 2 blues, but if it's 1 red, 2 blues, 1 green, it's still manageable, right? Because you run charge mines, you run swift assembly, and then you run inspiration. If you have 2 greens, which is the perfect gem combination, you're going to run swift assembly, you're going to run trap and mine damage, and then icicle mine, and then charge mines. With this, my damage is pretty nice right now. With inspiration charges up, and I think frenzy charges up, it probably hits like tooltip maybe about 7, I think 10k on tooltip. You also then with Deadeye as well, the first things you want to go for is If you are able to transition, if you are able to get Icicle mines online faster, Ricochet is really good for clear. But otherwise, you can just go for Gathering Winds for more movement speed and mine throwing speed. So generally the tree is going to still look like this, which is pretty much what I showed in the POB. Not much difference from there. I have pathed here to take these tree only because right now I don't have the small thread of hope. Once I do get a small thread of hope, I will unspec 2 of these nodes. Okay, so that's all there is to it. Pretty much this build will hit maps at a very comfortable timing if you know what you're doing, and if you're not wasting time like me, you should be hitting maps within the first day, within the first actually 5 hours, 8 hours. I think 8 hours is comfortable for most average players. You're not a racer, right? And then you even notice the mobility is good. Because I'm using a Karuri Scepter. Apparently these ones attack speeds are not nerfed, it's 1.5, so that's cool. So Leap Slam is very, very smooth, and with the 20% action speed from Tailwind for Deadeye, you're just gonna zoom. Alright, that's pretty much it. Peace. The third Ascendancy I'm gonna go for is likely to be the Mark Ascendancy. So I will get this one, which gives me mark effect. Yep, 75 increase effect on marks. I'll go for this, and then I will likely get this as my 4th Ascendancy rather than extra projectiles. I don't think the extra projectiles are really needed unless I'm going Eye of Winter, which I'm not doing right now. So the less damage taken when you get hit is pretty cool, because you actually, if you have enough evasion, you shouldn't be taking quite that much damage, right? So I'm thinking if I get enough evasion, I can go Wind Dancer, and then I go Wind Ward and just be really, really tanky, because I don't die from one-shots, and then I usually evade everything else once I get hit. So that's my theory behind this build. What else is there? Now that's pretty much about it. When it comes to weapons, do buy one that has decent amount of cold spell damage and elemental damage. This is like 50 or 60 total, and then fire resistance. This cost me 2 elks. It also has +1 to all cold spells per kilogram, which is nice. Offhand spell damage, resistances. There's not much else you need, to be honest. If there was +1 to cold, that's great too. But if you can't afford it or can't find one, that's can't be helped. I'm looking for one that is another +1 on the offhand. I'm looking to pay probably about 1 elf for that, not too much. Oh no, the lead mechanics is interesting, but it's not very complicated. I don't think it's worthwhile to actually pursue a league mechanic now, so I haven't really done it. So just to recap, 2 Thessalia signs, Martial Legion, falling this, get +5 to Socket Aura Gems, and as much movement speed and elemental resistances as you can get. Save up currency to buy a Heat Shiver, buy a Scepter with +1 to cold spells, and as much spell, cold, and elemental damage possible, preferably with high enough attack speed so you can Leap Slam fast. Same thing for your offhand, and the rest is just life and resistance, and you'll do fine. Right, you can follow the tree over here, which is pretty much what's already in the POB of the League starter I showed, and that's about it. I'm gonna continue playing. I really want to make this a fast video because I just want to go back playing and enjoying the game. Right, I don't really want to spend time talking too much about this. Alright, hope you enjoyed this video. I'm out. I will probably hit maps end of the day today, and then I'll just zoom maps after. After I get the Heat Shiver, I will probably want to pay maybe about 10 to 15 chaos for Heat Shiver, even though I have 27 chaos. I don't think paying 30 chaos for Heat Shiver is worthwhile, so I will hold off until it drops to 10 to 15, and I'll buy that. And then I'll look for a Wrath Pith, a Dissolution to Flesh, and start transitioning my build to a life-based miner. Hope you enjoy this. Oh yeah, and also look for Calm Spirit. Yeah, hope you enjoy this. Peace. I'm out. See you.